Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? Welcome back to the predictions and breakdowns. Today we're taking a look at UFC Fight Night. Gilbert versus Mike Malott, which is taking place in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada on April 18th, 2026, starting at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This was supposed to be in my town of Ottawa, and they moved it over to Winnipeg, which is some bullshit. It is actually a not bad card. We're looking at some Canadian prospects. We're looking at some hometown bodies that look like they can make their way up the rankings, and we're looking at some UFC debutants who can make some roles in their weight classes. Let's just start off with the early prelim opener. We'll end with the main event, and we'll just break down every single fight, try and get you through in 20 minutes or less, and we'll try and get you through on a Friday afternoon where we're going to start looking at those betting lines a little bit later today. First, the prelim opener of Jamie Serra versus John Yanis. We're going with Jamie Serra against Yanis just because Yanis has shown that he's not very aggressive. He doesn't really have a whole lot of boxing combinations that he puts together, and that's where Jamie starts to get a little bit tagged up on the feet. But John doesn't seem like he's very explosive. He seems like he more waits for people to wilt, and that's not really where we're looking at this fight to go. We're looking at this fight to probably end in the first round, and we're looking at Jamie Serra to end it with a rear naked choke. John Yanis has a really bad takedown defense. He doesn't sprawl whatsoever. He kind of looks terrible actually in the wrestling as well. He looks like he's just a pure striker, and every time guys try to take him down, as long as they have at least half a gas tank, they're still moving and taking him down with ease. And Jamie Serra, really good takedowns. The kid's a really good wrestler. His jiu-jitsu is phenomenal. He's got really good sweeps as well, so if he does get taken down on a reversal by John Yanis, there will be a sweep opportunity as well. I think Jamie is just going to take the back super quickly and make his UFC debut that of one of huge expectations. He did weigh in at 150 pounds, which is a little bit of a red flag for his last fight, but we're hoping here that he does weigh in properly. This fight is supposed to be at 135. Hopefully both men make it with ease, which is, I believe, happening right now, the weigh-ins. And I think Jamie's going to win by submission early. Next on the prelims, John Castaneda versus Mark Vologdin. Now, you're looking at Mark Vologdin probably to win by knockout. John Castaneda hasn't really shown a lot of grit in his fights. He does expend a lot of energy, and he does end up getting knocked out sometimes, and the way he gets knocked out is just getting wilted out. And when he's got a guy like Mark Vologdin who's not going to back down, Mark Vologdin in his fight with Adrian Luna Marinetti, it actually could have gone either way realistically, but I thought the damage was on the side of Marinetti, obviously with the massive cut over Vologdin's forehead. Mark Vologdin never backed down. He was getting rocked multiple times in that fight. He was hurt many times. He got dropped to the floor. He got back up every single time. I don't question his dog ability, and I don't question his grit. I don't question anything about him. I think he's a really good mixed martial artist. I think he belongs in the UFC. I think he will make some great highlights like this one against John Castaneda. I think Castaneda is just going to look for the takedowns a little bit too frequently, and I think in the boxing, even though Mark Vologdin is lacking the reach, he's been lacking the reach his entire career. He's still piled up 12 wins. He's still got a very impressive resume with over 80% finish rate, and I think we're just going to stick with the fact that Mark Vologdin is a bit younger. He'll win the striking. He'll probably avoid the takedowns as well, seeing he's a bit shorter, and John Castaneda is going to have a harder time taking down some guy that's shorter when he can sprawl a lot easier. And then you're going to just have Mark Vologdin forcing John Castaneda up against the cage and just winging punches and throwing from his hip. He's very good with the dipping and ducking. He's very good at rolling with the punches as well, but Mark Vologdin is so good at just moving forward, and that's what we're looking at here. We're looking at the Terminator, Mark Vologdin, to get it done via knockout or decision. This is not going to the ground. This is going to be John Castaneda up against the cage, just like against Daniel Santos, where he's getting tagged up against the cage until he ends up getting the perfect punch and getting put out. Give me Mark Vologdin. I mean, he's almost an underdog, which is a little bit ridiculous. John Castaneda as a vet and as an underdog is a good value pick, but we're looking at Mark Vologdin to just get it done inside distance. Next on the prelims, JJ Aldrich versus Jamie Lynn Horth. We're looking at Jamie Lynn Horth, the Canadian prospect, to get it done against JJ Aldrich. I think this is a little bit of a layup for Horth. I think they're giving her this purely because she's running out of time. She's 36 years of age. JJ Aldrich hasn't really moved in the rankings for many years, and I think this is a good point where we can try to get JJ Aldrich either in the rankings or out of the UFC. And I think Jamie Lynn Horth is a good fight for her. This is a girl who's just a bit of a dog. She's willing to just throw hands and just wade herself into the fire, which I really respect in women's fights. And that's kind of where we're going to just go with that, because women's fights a lot of the time are coin flips. A lot of the girls are actually well matched. They actually do put a lot of good competitions together for the women's fights, seeing as they're a little bit more equal. Their power's not exactly that drastically different unless you're fighting Amanda Nunes or Chris Cyborg. But I think Jamie Lynn Horth here has some real power. I think JJ Aldrich is at a bit of a disadvantage here. This is why the odds are swinging more to the side of Horth, seeing as she's got really good takedown defense. She's got good cage work as well, where she can eventually drag girls to the floor, but this is going to be a pure stand-up fight, it seems. Aldrich is just going to try and porn her way to a decision. It's not going to happen. Aldrich kind of relies on girls who could force on a grappling approach, just kind of shut them off and just keep pointing them up. Jamie Lynn Horth here, I think, is just going to have more of an advantage. I think she's just going to push forward. I think she's going to just have the better overall mixed martial arts capability. So we're going to go with Horth. She's lacking an inch and a half of reach, but she does have the height advantage, which will help her in the clinch. It'll help her against the cage. So we're going to go with Horth on that minus 215 money line. Now, next on the prelims, you have Melissa Croden versus Daria Zheleznyakova. I do not really want to pick Daria Zheleznyakova, and the reason for that is because Eileen Perez, that submission came super quick. I thought it would, but Montserrat Rendon, good wrestler. Melissa Mullins, very good wrestler, and she's beat the shit out of them. She beat the shit out of Melissa Mullins pretty bad. Melissa Croden here, very similar approach in which she just kind of forces girls against the cage. She forces her own fight, and she just kind of forces girls to play at her range. Daria Zheleznyakova is not like that. She's a pure striker. The girl's as beautiful as she could be. She could be a model if she really wanted to, but she chooses to fight because she's a dog. And Melissa Croden, 35 years of age. She's a little bit older. The reach advantage is not there. She lost to Luna Santos just because she got outpointed and the grappling was there. Daria Zheleznyakova, bro, she's going to piece her up. She really will. And I don't know if Melissa Croden is going to be able to force her approach. I don't know if the takedowns are going to come easy. I don't think the ground and pound is going to be there. I think Daria Zheleznyakova has just come so far with her fight game that she's starting to improve rapidly, and the win over Melissa Mullins is that of which you should really pay attention to. Daria Zheleznyakova sitting at plus 210 underdog in that fight. Melissa Mullins was favored to knock her out, and Daria Zheleznyakova goes on to point her out in all 3 rounds, it looked like, and beat the shit out of her and having her bleeding out of her nose and her mouth. I'm going to actually go with Daria Zheleznyakova plus 3.5 for the official pick, but we will go with Daria Zheleznyakova as the moneyline pick as well. Seeing as I don't know, Melissa Croden seems to have the similar approach that Melissa Mullins and she beat Melissa Mullins twice. That's crazy. Melissa Mullins and Eileen Perez have, Jesus Christ, Melissa Mullins and Montserrat Rendon. Jesus, I don't know why I'm losing my mind here, but we're looking at. Daria Zheleznyakova improved. I actually forgot that they fought twice as well. She got knocked out by Melissa Mullins on the ground 4 years ago and proceeded to beat the fuck out of her 3 years later. Or excuse me, 4 years later. 3 years later. Jesus. Anyway, we're going to go with Daria Zheleznyakova. Just too similar of approach on the side of Melissa Croden. I would probably skip this fight if I were you, realistically, if you're on the betting side. But you can... if you'd like. We like betting every single fight anyway, so whatever. Next on the prelims, you have Tanner Boser versus Gokhan Sarikam. We're going to go with the side of... oh, fuck. I guess we're going to go on the side of Tanner. I can't believe Tanner's younger here. Gokhan is really good. This guy's got really crazy hands, but he looks so shit after the first round. I don't know if I can actually pick him. Like, I just don't. I think he's so bad out of the first round. I think Tanner Boser is just a crafty vet. I think this is going to a decision, and I think either go. Technically, you could take this bet on DraftKings if you would like. You could go Gokhan by knockout or Tanner by decision. I'm looking at Tanner Boser to probably just grind this out for a 3-round fight. I think Tanner Boser is just a little bit more, like I said, crafty of a vet. He's got the experience. He understands what it's like to be in there with an absolute killer. He's been knocked out a couple of times in the first round. This shouldn't be one of them. I think this is going to be one of those fights where Gokhan just tries to wing and Tanner gets tagged and just slowly clinches up, eventually just slows down the fight and takes it to his level. If it gets into round 2, you can live bet Tanner. If he's an underdog, just put all your money on it, because I don't think he's but it will happen in the first 2 minutes. So give me Tanner Boser just because we're in Canada. The decision will be more probably on his side, and we're also looking at the fact that he's just so much more crafty in there. We've got more tape on him through a first round, so I don't know. Are you going to really pick the side of Gokhan, who's 11-2, barely had any experience? The guy's 30. He's literally older than Tanner. I can't. I literally can't. I don't know anything about the guy. He doesn't have anything impressive enough to stand out to me. Next on the prelims, Robert Valentin versus Julien Leblanc. We're going with Robert Valentin to win by knockout. I did think, I mean, I'm gonna be 100. You know what? I'm gonna be 100% honest with just this fight because this is the first time this has happened, and I didn't get any tape on this guy. I didn't. I really didn't. He's out of Gatineau, which is literally right down the road from me. So am I really going to pick against him? Yeah, probably. Here, let's just see. Gatineau, Quebec. Let's just see. Let's just see here. Yeah, Gatineau. Yeah, he literally trains Patent Kung Fu, Gatineau. Let's see how far it is. He's a 20-minute drive. All right. 20-minute drive. Do I go with the hometown body or do I go with Robert Valentin? I'm going to go with Robert Valentin. I think his striking is just a little bit better. I think he's going to win the striking. I think he'll win the wrestling. I think Julien is getting in here on a whim. I think he's being gifted into the UFC due to the fact that he's kind of just... He's kind of a feeding for Robert Valentin is what it feels like. Listen, Robert is a natural 186. This guy walks around at like 215. He's got wicked power. Yes, he did look like shit against Ryan Loder, but that first round, you know, I don't know, man. He beat up Torres Finney. I thought he lost that fight. Ateba Gauthier got knocked out in the first round. He's just got shitty striking. He's got really bad striking, I guess. Yeah, you know what? No, we're going to switch it. We're going to switch it, boys. I'm going to switch it. I'm going to go with the hometown body. I'm going to switch it on you. I know. And if anybody's got a notebook out, I know there's some people that have watched every single video. If you got a notebook out, every single time I switch picks, they fucking lose. It's like 80% win rate. But I don't really give a fuck because Robert Valentin, I forgot the Ateba Gauthier fight. I really did forget about that. I forgot he got knocked out in about half a second. So... He looked so good against Paddy McCory, though, man. He looked so good. Listen, just give me Ryan Loder plus 3.5, Julien LeBlanc on the money line. I don't really know what the fuck else to pick. We're just going to go with the coin flip here. We're going to pick a Julien LeBlanc on the money line. I've got no tape on this guy. I haven't seen this guy at all, but I think he's better than Robert Valentin. How about that? How about that? Just take... fuck! Take Robert Valentin plus 3.5. I'm skipping this fight. How about that? You know what? We're flipping a coin. I don't give a fuck. You know what? All right. Here we go. All right. We got the Yale polar bear for tails and Yale heads for heads. Oh, dropped it. Oh. What is that? Tails is on the right. So heads, we're going with. So I said tails is on the right. We're going with Robert Valentin. There you go. That's the pick. Robert Valentin. Boom. Can't switch. Next on the prelims, Dennis Buzukja versus Mauricio Barbosa. We're going with Mauricio Barbosa to knock out Dennis Buzukja in under 1.5 rounds. I think Mauricio Barbosa is just nasty as fuck. Damon Wilson learned real quick that you cannot stay close with this guy. If you get close at all, Mauricio Barbosa leads off with some nasty hands. Dennis Buzukja has been knocked out by lesser opposition as well. He's been knocked out by Jamal Emmers in the first round, which is a red flag. If you've been knocked out by Jamal Emmers, don't know what the fuck's going on. Sean Woodson can knock him out, which is a little bit of a question, even though Sean Woodson's really lanky, a little bit of a Skeletor. But I think Mauricio Barbosa, he's a massive guy at 145. Dennis Buzukja making the weight down to 145 from 155. That's a red flag as well. The kid is a natural 155, but Mauricio Barbosa, I think here, is just going to be laying off some yeet. I think he's going to lay off some nasty fucking ground and pound as well after he puts Dennis Buzukja into the Shadow Realm. I'm going to go with Mauricio Barbosa to get it done with his check right hook. I think Dennis Buzukja comes in with the jab and Mauricio steps back, right hook over the top, and I think Dennis Buzukja goes out cold. I think we're going to see it done in under 7.5 minutes, and I think you see Dennis Buzukja get out of the UFC and out of the rankings because he shouldn't even be ranked number 75. Next on... Oh, wow. That was the highlighted prelim of the evening. Yeah, they're looking for a finish in that one. Mauricio Barbosa's getting it. Next, the start of the main card. If you guys did enjoy this so far, dude, just smash the like button. It puts it in the algorithm. We get some more people in here. Maybe you get some better picks. Maybe you don't get my picks. Maybe you get some common picks that are way better than mine. We all know mine are better. It's fine. Don't lie to yourself. Thiago Moises versus Gage Young first on the prelims. Yo! We're gonna go with Thiago Moises. There's been something in my head that's been telling me about this. Listen, I've had dreams about this. Okay, I was thinking Gage Young all week when I was about to make this video. I should have made this video 5 days ago, by the way. I promise you guys next week we'll do a Monday predictions and breakdown. How about that? Monday predictions and breakdowns? Sounds good to me. We're going with Thiago Moises by leg kicks. I think Gage Young is going to stand still and try and trade with a Thiago Moises that is just going to light up that front calf. And yes, Gage Young is probably going to win the first round. And yes, the live odds are going to swing in the favor of Gage Young. You know what you do? You start putting some money in Thiago Moises. You know why? Because that calf is chewed. You don't see it, but that calf is chewed. I'm telling you right now, Thiago Moises is going to go to the leg. He just got knocked out by Jared Gordon 10 months ago. He's taking the time off, okay? He's taking the time off. He's coming back after 11-month layoff. He's good. Feels great. He's ready to walk in there, and I think Gage Young is the perfect fighter for him. He's got a young kid in front of him. Kid's hungry. He just got his first win. Feels a little bit confident. You know, feels confident in his hands. He just won on the points. You know, we're gonna stand and bang. Guess what? Thiago Moises, hiya! Chops that calf. Chops that calf. Chops that calf. Guess who's limping? Guess who can't walk anymore? Ooh, Gage Young. Guess what happened to Trey Ogden? The exact same thing. Guess what happened after Trey Ogden got chewed up on the calf? Ooh, he got taken down twice. Ooh, Trey Ogden. Ooh, he was doing good in the first round, though. What happened? He was lighting Thiago Moises up on the feet. Yeah, but that calf was chewed up. It only takes a couple from Thiago Moises. We're going with Thiago Moises as an underdog. He should not be an underdog here. Yes, Gage Young is younger. He will probably win the striking, but the striking numbers will be on the side of Gage Young, which favorably would favor him to win the fight. But I'm going to go with the slight edge in just technique on Thiago Moises and take the money line. Next on the main card, Jasmine Jasavicius versus Karine Silva. We're going Jasavicius on the money line. This isn't even close. Karine Silva's a bum. Every time I watch her, she's shit. She's a decent grappler, but guess what? Jasmine Jasavicius is just better. Macy Barber beat her up. Vivian Araujo beat her up. Karine Silva's not good. Jasavicius just got knocked out by Manon Fiorot, but guess what? Manon Fiorot, one of the top French kickboxers ever to live in the women's division, at least. And guess what? This is not a striker's affair. This is going to be Jasmine Jasavicius mauling and subbing Karine Silva. It's either going to be a sub or decision for Jasmine Jasavicius. Lock it and book it for your boy. Next on the main card, Mendel Nalo versus Jai Herbert. We're going with the garbage rat, Mendel Nalo. Yes, you might think I'm being racist or something. No, that's literally, or rat garbage, excuse me. That's literally his Instagram handle. Relax. He fights at a TriStar. Kid's nasty. He's got really good hands, and he's going to get a knockout over Jai Herbert. I think Jai Herbert's just getting a little bit too old. The speed is kind of there. The power is really there, but he falters too late in fights, and I think Mendel Nalo in the first 2 rounds, it's probably going to be a round 1 or round 2 knockout. Mendel's got crazy hands. He's got real power, and he's got real technique. The guy's got precision striking as well. Faraz Zahabi has made this guy a fucking demon, and he's really going to put it on Jai Herbert. I think this is a terrible matchup for Jai Herbert. Even though the guy's long, he's probably the biggest you can get for 155. This is not where you want to be. I think Mendel Nalo, Mango gets it done inside distance. I think this is an easy money line pick, minus 165 or better. Take my money. Next, the co-main event of the evening: Kyler Phillips versus Charles Air Jourdain. We're going with Jourdain to win by submission in round 2. Kyler Phillips is going to get guillotine choked. It's not even going to be a fucking question of how it happens. Charles Jourdain is just that good. The guy's a real Quebecer. He's a real Quebecois, and he will get the finish on Saturday night. I tell you right now, Charles Jourdain will get it done. He's from Belleuil, Quebec. And the man is the fucking man, okay? I tell you what, the man is the fucking man. He will get it done. I'm telling you right now, Charles Jourdain gets it done inside distance. Kyler Phillips is going to get fraud checked. Charles Jourdain is number 9 at bantamweight. Guess what? Going up. We're going up the rankings. Hyonie Barcelos is a good win for Kyler Phillips, but guess what? Charles Jourdain is not letting that happen. He will not let his fucking ego get ahead of him. Charles Jourdain has been looking good in his last 2 fights. He got a guillotine choke over Victor Henry, and he got a guillotine choke over David Grant, a guy who he fucking almost knocked out, who's never been knocked out. He flying kneed him into oblivion, and then got a guillotine choke over, and he fucking got the guillotine, all right? Charles Jourdain. Next, the main event of the evening. I said 20 minutes or less. We got 15 seconds to get it done. Gilbert Burns versus Mike Malott. We're going with Gilbert Durinho Burns to get it done because Mike Malott is garbage with his fucking gas tank, and he's going to get it done in rounds 3 or 4 by submission or TKO. I'm going with Gilbert Burns to get it done. Fuck Mike Malott. That's all I got to say. Boom. We got it done in 20 minutes or less, boys. Can you fucking believe it? We're on the 20-minute mark right now. That's all I got to say. Gilbert Durinho Burns is going to get it done. He's a plus 400 underdog. The love for Mike Malott comes from the side of just his pure knockout capability. I'm telling you right now, okay? He almost lost to Kevin Holland. He got a good knockout win over Charles Radke, who's dog shit, by the way. But it's not going to matter. I'm giving you an easy pick right now. Gilbert Burns, live bet after round 1. If you want to live bet after round 2 to feel a little bit fruitier, you can do that. I'm telling you right now, Mike Malott does not have 5-round experience. Gilbert Burns does. Gilbert Burns have a title fight experience as well. Mike Malott does not. Gilbert Burns has been in 5 rounds many a times in his career, okay? He almost beat JDM, what, 2 years ago? He almost beat JDM. He was winning the fucking, literally winning the fight till he got knocked out, okay? Mike Malott, going to be a very similar fight. Mike Malott is going to gas. We're going with Gilbert Durinho Burns plus 400. Lock it and book it. If you want plus 5.5 is probably going to pay you plus 190. Why not? Buy the extra rounds. Pay yourself. Watch a good fight. It's going to be a good fight regardless. Hope you guys did enjoy. Make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you have not already. This was the predictions and breakdowns for UFC Fight Night, Gilbert Burns versus Mike Malott. We will see you all later for the best bets as well. We will drop that soon. You will see probably a lot of unders on that as well, but we're also going to pick Mauricio Barboza as the lock of the week, and we will probably have Thiago Moises in there as a dog. That's all I got for you guys this week. I will see you guys later today for the best bets. Hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your week. Mwah. See you tomorrow. Peace.